2019 movie, the last John Wick movie of the 2010s, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. So you get to this movie, it's over 2 hours long. Get to it. 2 hours and 10 minutes, just like the movie yesterday, pretty much. But this is the last one that was like tolerable with the running time. Because by the time we got to 4, I'm like, these movies are too long now. 4 was almost 3 hours and it did not need to be. 4 was like 2 hours and 40 some minutes. It could have been shorter. The things with the rushing could have been cut completely, in my opinion. Doing that just kind of defeats the purpose of an action movie by stretching it out, you know? John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. New York City. Just like in Spider-Man. This is the last movie I'm doing that's over 2 hours for a while. Rain. That's him and his dog running in the rain. Scratched up just like in the last movie. There's always a hit on him. What is the 5th movie going to be like? I don't know. Look at these women. They got tats in this one. At least Ruby Rose is not in this one. She was in the second one and then died. $14 million. Damn. Don't you have an umbrella? He's lucky that all of Times Square is not after him. I'm doing this one early because I have to go out later. There's Lance Reddick. Yeah, may he rest in peace. And Ian McShane. It's a good shot. I can't believe that these movies were mostly directed by stunt directors, stuntmen. Hey, they know how to do action scenes, unlike Olivia Megaton. A hobo. That's Jason Mantzoukas. Forgot he was in this movie. I haven't seen this movie in years. It sucks to walk through New York City in the rain. I know, I've done it many times. Manhattan and Brooklyn. It's a nightmare. It just rained a couple of weeks ago when I went to a convention and good, he finally got out of the rain with his dog. Traffic. You ever been in New York City traffic? I have. It's a real dog too, it's not CGI. When the John Wick movies have an animal, they want a real animal, not CGI, because it defeats the purpose. 20 minutes. Damn. He runs as much as Tom Cruise does. Keanu is actually younger than him by a couple years, but. Mm-hmm. There's a gun in there, right? It's a picture of his wife. No, and some gold coins. And that. What is that, an amulet? Poor Bridget Monahan. She was reduced to a cameo in pictures and in flashbacks. That's about it. The band is huge. Ow. He got stabbed in the shoulder and he shrugged it off like it was a paper cut. The realism in these movies astounds me. Well, there is no realism. It's a movie. If this was realistic, John would have been dead in the first film. And nobody hears this. They're making all this banging sounds and screaming and grunts, and yet nobody hears it. Yep, eat the power of literature. That's right, John. Let him have it. Gecko chop, baby. Yep. He's making him eat a book, literally. Good thing that didn't happen in the Never-Ending Story. That's right. Knockout. Yep, he's bleeding. Of course he is. He got stabbed in the shoulder. I mean, it wasn't like he scratched you with his nails. The Asians are after him in this one. Look at all that money. There's Lawrence Fishburne from the last movie. I enjoy these movies, but 4 is way too long. 4 is my least favorite with the John Wick movies because it's too long. Because Ballerina was everybody's least favorite because it flopped at the box office because no one wanted a girl. Because you know how people are now. If they had done it like a year after this one, it would have worked. But during the pandemic, people were way more selective with their movies. Especially movies that star women. They take the gold coins, yeah, like a Mario game. These movies are shot really well. Mm-hmm. 1 minute and all hell breaks loose. I would hate to have a bounty on my head. I don't want anything on my head. Like Han Solo, no. 4. Yep, it's 6 o'clock. They haven't stitched me up since I had surgery in my mouth 2 years ago. That must be so scary to be on the run all the time. Yeah. Thankfully, that's not me. Later today, I'm going to go take a walk. Beautiful women wearing these nice skirts. They're sending the messages to all these phones. Ian McShane. Everybody's getting the text. Because if it was just one person after you, that's scary enough. But a group of people, that's terrifying, guys. A gun. We're 13 minutes in, so we got a long way to go. Have you seen the Gateway remake? Gateway? Getaway? No. The one with, is it the Getaway movie with Selena Gomez? Because I don't think that's a remake. It's just its own movie. I didn't see it. No. I saw the '90s movie with Alec Baldwin. I think. Yeah. I saw that movie. Yeah. Not the Getaway with Selena Gomez because she's not a good actress, mostly. Yeah. These movies have amazing visuals, and the action scenes are phenomenal. There they go. I haven't seen the Steve McQueen movie. This is the only movie in the trilogy that doesn't have a commentary, so I'm doing one. Running. Yep, gotta have your weapons. Yeah, because these movies are entertaining. The first one was about an hour and 40 minutes. I don't know how the sequels got longer. They think that putting more people in the movies make it more epic, but no, you can make them 2 hours or less. You don't need 2.5 hours to tell a good story. I thought four was just padded. The stuff, the stuff with the Russians could have been cut out entirely and saved for another movie. Yeah, he still has it. It was a great shadow in Sonic 3. People make fun of Keanu's acting, but I'm like, I think he's just fine in these movies. You don't have to say much to have Riz. He has something Liam Hemsworth never had, a fan base. One of the nicest guys. Yeah, I heard. He kills so many people in these movies, and yet he's super chill. He takes the train. He doesn't like live drive in a limo all the time. He's someone common that takes the train and commutes by bus and whatever. I call it gung fu because they use kung fu and guns, like the Matrix, except without all the CGI. You don't need that. What you need is a good story and good characters and good action sequences without bad edits and pretentiousness. Speed is so yeah. I did a podcast for Speed, the first one. I'm not doing the sequel. No Keanu, no deal. Uh oh, a knife fight. Because if critics were looking for realism, these movies are not realistic. Because if that was the case, John would have died in the first one. Because he got stabbed and shot so many times and beat and knocked around that he would have the loss of blood would have killed him. But these are movies, not documentaries. It's entertainment. That's what these movies are. Speed 2 script control. Yeah, you mean damage control. Man. I don't think kids should watch movies like this. They should be at least 17. Because they're so violent. But they're not gratuitous. This is why we don't need a remake of The Raid, because the fight scenes in this are good enough. It's all in one shot, see? You can see what's going on. This all in one shot, you can see what's going on. They're not shaking the camera or doing quick edits. That's what a good action movie does. V2 should have been just a standalone movie, yeah. But it was not. It was bad. Like Under Siege 2. That's a sequel, but it's not. It doesn't retcon the first one. The first, right in the eye. Ooh, that's brutal, man. He stabbed him right in the eye. And again, I reiterate, no one heard this. You would think you would have heard some crashing. You saw he hit him right in the head with an axe. Good shot. Gotta keep the dog safe. I'll mute this part. I already heard enough French yesterday, whatever that is. Because I'm like, yeah, I didn't. I only did this movie because I'm like, it's the last one I have. I don't have four. Are you gonna see Mutiny? Well, not in the theaters. because I'm not going back to the theater until the end of the month. Hey, horsey. Yeah, they have horses in Manhattan, horse and buggy, because they drive people around in those horse carriages. Doing his Die Hard clone this time, yeah, I get it, but Statham is taking the work that he can get, because like John McClane, there's only so much that he could do at this point in his career. Yeah, there comes those wrestling moves again. That was cool. He slid right under the horse. See, the horses hear them, but what about people? These are like wrestling moves or judo. Yep, he kicked him right in the face. I thought that was Frank Grillo. It's not him. He was busy doing this one scene in Endgame. Ride him, horse. It's a real horse too. Oh. Yep, a real horse, unlike Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, where it looks fake. Yep, he's riding through New York City on a horse. Mattress Firm, 24-hour fitness. Again, and nobody sees this. Remember, this is before COVID. When 4 came out, it was during COVID, but this one came out a year before it. Ride like the wind, bullseye. They can't beat him. Where are you going? Tale of Two Wolves. See, he didn't say a word. He just showed the crucifix. Even though she's not a vampire, but... That's a nice location. Because they're real locations. They don't... They have some CG in it, but it's like in the background. It's not like... It's barely noticeable. Mm-hmm. And the belt. Mm-hmm, of course the belt. And you want to see his schlong? No, they don't show that in this movie. Even though these movies are R-rated and mostly for the violence and the language, there's no nudity in these films mostly. Because it doesn't need it. It's not necessary. Yeah, they put Russian in these movies even though Wick is not Russian. But look, a foreshadowing of Ballerina. Even though that didn't do well, unfortunately. Because people are sexist and they won't give women a chance in certain movies. That's the ending of the Nutcracker Suite. It's beautiful, man. This is a serious foreshadowing. That's not Anna de Armas, right? No. She's injured. It's the most beautiful music I have ever heard in my life. Classical. That probably was going to be Anna de Armas, but she wasn't available to do this because she was doing No Time to Die. Because it was delayed 2 years, but it was filmed before COVID. Yeah, you know who that is. Angelica Houston. Yeah, she's great, man. What a legend. She was the original Morticia in the Addams Family movies. The music is amazing. I want to do the Nutcracker in the Four Realms in November. She's such a legend, man. She was great in Daddy Daycare and a bunch of other stuff too. She was also in Witches, the original, not that remake that came out a few years ago with the god-awful CGI. You know, CG is not scary, Hollywood. You know why? Because it's not scary. Sometimes it just looks terrible. It looks fake. You know, before AI existed, you know, they put CG in movies that don't need to be in there, and it's that bat music in the background is nice. Ballerinas are cute. I saw a ballet once. It just wasn't my thing. It wasn't the. It wasn't even the Nutcracker. It was just some Brazilian thing that I was like, yeah, this is not for me. So I left halfway through. I'm not a Timothy Chalamet. I'm not going to crap on ballet. I respect it as a art form. Yeah, that's not Anna de Armas, but this will be Anna de Armas a few years later. Beautiful girl. Hi, girls. I love women. Articulating them there. Ooh, she took her nails out. I think that was the girl from Pirates of the Caribbean, but she doesn't have dialogue here. Good, because yeah, she doesn't have to be paid to act. I saw her in those Maze Runner movies. I'm like, I'm glad they killed her off. She is no Katniss. It wasn't just a puppy. It was the guys wrestling, amateur wrestling, not professional wrestling. Because the thing with the Russians was way too much in 4. We get it. For some reason, John is connected to the Russians, but why did they have to do that as a whole subplot in 4? I'm like, it made the movie 20 minutes longer than it needed to be, and it was not necessary. I did like Pretty Lethal with the Lana Condor and Avatika and these other girls. They were beautiful. They were dancing and kicking ass, which is great. It was kind of refreshing. It was good to see like Black Swan meets a Kill Bill movie. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. I haven't seen Kill Bill. I have to see it. Giordani. Because sometimes a cameo is good enough. I just really desire to eat out today because the weather's going to be nice. But not after. I gotta take a nap after this because this is a long movie. I chose long movies this week because it's a long month. The month of August is the longest month of the summer. July just felt a lot shorter. I don't know. It just did. Ow, that looks painful. I'm not gonna let somebody brand me. I got a rash. There's the non-binary character of the movie, even though she's a woman. Who are you fooling? That short hair doesn't fool me none. I can feel you. I miss Lance Reddick so much. You're a woman. If I touch your hair, I know you're a woman. When it comes to hair, I do not discriminate. If you're a man or a woman, if you have soft hair, I'm going to touch your hair. With permission, of course. I'm not just going to go, hey, hair. No. Because when I was a kid, I used to pet hair of men and women because I like hair. Soft hair. You're a woman and you're going to stay a woman. You can't change that. No matter how many haircuts you get. Sinead O'Connor. May she rest in peace, but yeah. Why do women think they're men because they cut their hair short? I know the truth. She sounds like a woman. Sorry. Halle Berry shows up later in this film, but she's a woman. Full woman. She comes later in the film, though. She's not in the first act of the film. The scene with her and the dogs was pretty badass. We'll get to that later. Look at those flames. He didn't need an hour. He needed a year. $2.17. At the come to that show. How you talk like that? It's weird. You make Shane talks weird, man. Like he's talking in slow motion. That's a nice shot near the. It's the same scene with where he was feeding the pigeons. No, from a pigeon. Girls think they use its terms with me and fool me. I'm like, no, I'm no fool. I know exactly what you are. I see through the bullshit of Hollywood. It's a nice shot. The Bowery. Boats. Hookahs. Smoking is so bad for you. I'm glad I'm doing this early. We're um 39 minutes in. And here we go again. All this for money. It's Wick. That was a good shot. Another really good shot. Morocco. There's another dog. Guard dogs. And there she is, finally. Halle Berry. 41 minutes into the movie. She still looks great. It's good to see her in the movie again. You're so gorgeous. I like black girls, guys. These dogs attack later in the film. So she has a fireplace. Mm-hmm. He's so intense. Mm-hmm. A, a lot of Hollywood movies have done that. Yeah. Yikes. More rain. That's not Donnie Yen. What's his name? Mark DeCoscos. He's bald now. I remember the Costco's. He was a '90s actor that I saw in Double Dragon when I was a kid. Unfortunately, that movie's terrible, but he's the best part of that movie. Him and Robert Patrick, because he can fight, and Robert Patrick's a fun villain, even though he's a cartoon. I don't eat blowfish. There's more ballet scenes. This is a foreshadowing for Ballerina. Unfortunately, that was not successful, so we're not going to see a Ballerina 2. So just do a John Wick 5, and they should end it at that. Like I said, every man for themselves. This isn't even John Wick, these are the Asians. They're going to town. Triads or Yakuza, I don't know. Look at that shot. They use silhouettes really well in these films. Yikes. Yikes. Right in the hands. The dogs do something in this film. The German Shepherds. Look at those pointy ears. We're almost an hour in. Coins, more coins. Hmm. The head of the table. Because the second movie was almost 2 hours, but this one is over 2 hours, and then it got longer with the last movie that John Wick starred in. That's why I'm not doing that one until September, October, because it's way too long. Hmm. See, yeah, pet owners don't like to give up their dogs. Again, don't worry. No animals were. No animals were harmed in this movie. Shouldn't have done that. Yep. Now you're gonna get yours. The other dogs attack. Yeah, there's the other dog. That's right. That's what you get. Biting you right in the crotch. Yeah, these dogs kick some ass. Good. They're attack dogs for a reason. Yeah, they bite in the arm so they don't kill anybody. Again, you should never mess with a dog. Right in the leg, yeah. Now he won't be walking for a week. You shouldn't have done that. You saw what Supergirl did in her movie after they hurt him. They hurt Crypto when she killed a man in cold blood. Yep, his junk hurts and now his leg hurts. It's like a video game. I'm glad the dogs do something. Yep, there it is. These well-trained dogs to really do this. See, you don't need CGI, Disney. Get real trained animals. We want to see that. We don't want to see CGI Dalmatians in Cruella. That was stupid. Animals are real. You can use them. Why is Disney so lazy? They got to use CGI dogs. Crypto, I get it. He's a space dog. He's from Krypton, just like Superman, and he can fly and he has powers. But he's a super dog. Real dogs can be trained. Yeah, the dogs actually help. They're like an assistants. It's like a video game when you have an animal that can help you. Again, they hear all these gunshots and people not screaming. That was a good roll. It's good to see Halle Berry in an action movie again. That actually was good. Because I hadn't seen her in something action oriented like this since like X-Men Days of Future Past. Both cuts. Because Kidnap was a thriller. I don't. Kidnap was a thriller, and also was The Call. That was also a thriller. That's right, dogs. Let them have it. They're really well trained. They know when to jump and they know where to bite. That's a trained dog right there. Even these dogs get to kick ass because John's dog, the gray dog from the second movie, doesn't fight. Plus, I didn't like the ending of John Wick 4. It was too long, and the staircase scene just felt like it was from another movie. Yep, he's making a feast out of your crotch area. I really enjoyed this because they added the dogs to it, so it's a different scene than the second movie. Scene is badass, man. We're an hour in, and look at all that's happened. That's right, dog. Wow. That was an incredible stunt, by the way. That was a stunt dog. She missed. A lot of henchmen in this movie. Damn. I love these movies. They're so good, man. It's just the fourth one should need it to be shorter. If the fourth one was this long, I could handle it. But 2 hours and 40 minutes is a lot of time, guys. That's long for any movie. This is basically the recent Spider-Man movie's running time. Yep, they have to reload their gun and then shoot. That's kind of clever. Great choreography, man. Yeah, Chad Stahelski, he knows what he's doing. This director knows exactly what audiences want. And that's really Halle Berry doing it. It's not a stunt woman unless she's like jumping from something. Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. That was awesome. Yeah, that was CG, but again, it looked pretty cool. The dog jumped over a wall. Usually, dogs can't do that. They can't jump up a high building because they don't have the capacity, but they can try. Cats can do it though because they're more agile. Because that dog is heavy. It's not like that dog is a super dog. That was a little bit enhanced by CG, but it looked cool. Hiya. Two dogs did all that. Oh yeah, now there's people hear it. This is probably the best action scene in the movie. It's the most memorable. That was an incredible scene. Like, I don't think it's been topped. After the first movie, like this is one of the coolest action scenes in any of the John Wick films. There's a scene later where Mark Dacascos that's pretty cool, but it's not as good as the dog scene because we've seen martial arts fight scene before. I gotta lie down because this is a long movie, so I got another hour to go. Yeah, I'll just take this now. And the movie's almost over. It's like we're halfway through. Oh, oh. There's some water for the dogs. They deserved it after running so much. They're in the desert now. Because 4 has too many characters. Because not only do you have Keanu, who's in all of them, he has to be, because he's the main character. But then you have like Scott Adkins, and then you have freaking Ian McShane. I think he comes back. Lance Reddick, it was his last film before he died. And then he had a cameo in Ballerina, but that was the last one he filmed. I miss him so much. And then you have Donnie Yen, and then a bunch of other people. There's too many characters in 4. It's a really awesome shot. There's a bottle of water in the middle of the desert. Should have a gallon of water instead. Now it's nighttime. It's a beautiful stars in the sky at night. Rolling in the sand like Dune. There's Mark Dacascos scene. And right through the head. This feels like another movie, like The Raid or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. It really does, because whenever it doesn't focus on John, it feels like another movie, like especially in the fourth one. Look at that bird. Turtle dove. Of course, Lawrence Fishburne dies. He's not the main character here. John would have died because he's in the desert in a suit. He should have taken his suit off. Oh, look, a camel. Cute camel. Camels can survive in the sand because they have water in their humps. They're big zips. They're cute animals because of the lips. This guy was in Wonder Woman, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. That's him. The first Wonder Woman movie from 2017. $70 minutes in. So it's like The Crow, except the Crow died and then comes back. That's basically what John Wick is. It's the Crow without the makeup and without the leather jacket. And, yeah. They have the same hair color. Winston from Ghostbusters. I don't want to do that. I have to keep my fingers. Could have just taken the ring off. You didn't have to chop your finger off. I'm not gonna do that. I need my fingers to play video games and hold things. Ouch. Ouch. Goes through a lot, man. Basically, Rogue One is the same running time as this, but that movie felt long, and I was like, oh my god, just die already, you stupid characters. New suit in the middle of a desert. Back to New York City. MTA Metro North Railroad. I know that train. Is that Grand Central Station? I think it is, yeah. I've been there before. I haven't been on one of those trains in a while. I haven't been on an Amtrak since I was 13. Here we go. It's the guy from the raid. The main henchman at the end. That fights Iko Uwais at the end of the first raid. Uh-oh. Yeah, like they'll allow knives in the Grand Central Station. No, they won't. They were about to kill each other in front of children. Grand Central Station has thousands of people. Does this guy teleport? Because, yeah, again, nobody sees this. They just mind their business. Someone just got stabbed and they didn't notice. Everything in New York City is noticed when there's a crime. Mm-hmm. That was a good move. Yep, hit him with that helmet. Right in the head. Helmets hurt if you get hit in the head with it. bridge closed. They can't read. Just like the scene in The Dark Knight. That's what it looks like, except with swords instead of a truck. And again, this movie is shorter than The Dark Knight, so I give it credit for that. But 4 is way too long. 4 is almost as long as The Dark Knight Rises, and I'm like, those movies did not need to be that long. Dark Knight Rises and John Wick 4, because they don't get to the point as fast as they could. You know, this one, it is long, but it's not as long as those. Now, this is entertaining. They'll never do a Ninja Turtles this movie this violent, no, because then it wouldn't be for kids. Even though the comics were very violent in the 80s. Good stuff. If the bridge was really closed, it would have had like a barricade. That was a good stunt. Oh man, Shreddick. I don't know. Every time I see him, I just keep saying I miss him because why did he die so young? He didn't look sick at all, man. It's tragic, man. The man was a good actor too. I'd like to see the manager. He has a cool voice. I think it's a cool voice because as Shadow, it was like Shadow was like John Wick but for kids because you know he's not a bloodthirsty killer like John Wick is. Because Shadow is violent, but he's not as violent as John Wick. $80 in. Good thing we're almost done. We just got another like 50 minutes, I think. Yeah. They're sitting next to each other. Funny, Speed and Double Dragon came out around the same time in the 90s. Of course, Speed was a huge hit, and Double Dragon was not. It didn't even get the cult following the way Mario did in the 90s. Would love to meet Keanu Reeves or Mark Dacascos. There's his dog. Good dog. I prefer dogs because I'm not allergic to dogs. Cats, I am. Very allergic. That's why I've never pet a cat in my life because, again, they're unpredictable and they can make me sick. That dog is licking his neck. It's a friendly dog, even though it's big. It's friendly. These movies have amazing visuals, like backgrounds and the neon lights and all that, it just looks amazing. It really does. It looks like an actual film. It doesn't look like a CGI cartoon, which I'm getting tired of that. I was fine with it in Spider-Man because it's a comic book world, but like in real, it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be in the real world, not a fantasy. Mostly, it should look great, you know. Yeah. Look at that background.
Personal.
Stab me right in the heart. He talks like that in every movie I've seen him in. Even when he was young, he talked like that. It's weird. Some people just talk weird. It's funny because Michael Caine doesn't talk like that. Well, a person I loved. His poor finger. Here comes the non-binary lady again. Again, woman, because I'm not stupid. There is no they. I don't. But they is 2 or 3 people, not one person. You idiots. When I was taught pronouns as a kid, they meant 2 or more people, not one person pretending to be 2 people. That's Robin Lord Taylor. I met him at a convention a few years ago. He was the Penguin in Gotham. I knew I recognized him. Beautiful women. Yes, they have tattoos, but they're beautiful. They're women. Yes, he has 2 lip rings. Weird, right? It's a cameo because he was still doing Gotham at the time. That was the year I met him, 2018. And plenty of, we know, this movie dwells on guns and hammers and knives and any weapon that you can use. I'm shocked they haven't used a chainsaw yet, or what else? Like well, they did use swords, or like a bazooka, or like a Gatling gun or something like that. Yeah, probably John Wick 5 or a laser gun or paintball. You know, you could they could do anything. Deconsecrated. I couldn't be a contract killer because I can't kill people for sport. I can't. I just can't do it. I don't have it in me. To end a life just to get paid? No, I wouldn't. 90 minutes in. Should have shaved his head. I know that's a woman. Cutting your hair short doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. I can still touch it. Like I really don't know the difference between a man like Mark Dacascos and a woman. I know the difference. I can feel it. Oh, Lance, you were taken from us way too soon. He was such a good actor. I don't know why death has to take people so soon. I mean, it wasn't like 90 or anything. It was in like it was his 50s when he died. It was so sad. Just like Chadwick Boseman, he died a year after this movie came out, and I miss him so much too. After this, I'm gonna nap because I haven't slept well the last couple of days, so I want to take a nice long nap. Then when I get up, I'll feed my dog and then I can leave. I can nap. It's not like I'm going anywhere too far. Yep, time to load up. Keanu does his job. He fights. He commits to the role. Yeah, he's stoic, but again, this is not a. Remember, this is not a goofy character, guys. This is not Deadpool. This is not, Spider-Man. This is more of the Punisher, but with more facial hair and without the skull symbol. Because like Frank Castle, he has a motivation. They killed his family. He's got to go after them. At least tomorrow I'm doing a much shorter movie. Not no more 2 hour movies until next week. Like late next week, not next Monday or Tuesday. Oh yeah. I'm hunting rabbits now. That's somebody else. It's a semi-automatic, but it's not a Gatling gun or like a what else? Like I said, a laser gun. What was that? Latin? Parabellum. That's the name of the title drop. So that's Latin. The music is nice. More classical music, man. I love it so much. Good thing we're almost done, because if this was 3 hours, I couldn't do it. I will not do a 3 hour movie this summer. Just 2 hours or less, not 3 hours. Or 2 hours and change. That's bearable. Yep. They're dead. Yep. Lance Reddick gets to shoot a little bit. All these bullets, man. They don't go to waste, I'll give them that. Yep, he threw the gun right at him. Again, realism be damned. A shotgun. And they're gonna use all the weapons and most of the weapons in this bunker. Can't forget. Like Judge Dredd. Yeah. Armor piercing. Rapid fire. That's another character that kills a lot. Dredd. I'll do Dredd eventually. I'll probably do it in September. It's a short movie. It's not as long as this. The 2012 Dread movie is surprisingly short for a sci-fi action movie. It's not 2.5 hours like Terminator 2. Yep. This movie does not skip on the action, man. Say your truth. These films, all three of them have incredible action scenes. But to me, the best one is the first one because it's the most simple story and it's the shortest. Because these movies did not need to be over 2 hours long, like the way this one is a little long, and then four is way too long. I just didn't know when to stop. At least Ballerina was nice and short compared to four. It was like 40 minutes shorter. Which, again, I get it because Anna de Armas is not an action star, I guess. She's beautiful, absolutely stunning, and she can act. It's just that people don't buy her as an action star. Yep, flipped right over. Oh man, that sounded brutal. 100 minutes already. We're almost done. I said that about Bond, and I'm like, yeah, it went over 2 hours. But the end credits, I think, are longer. Yeah, no, the scene with the dogs is still the best scene in the movie. It's an awesome scene, but I still prefer the ones with the dog, with Halle Berry, because it was a woman helping him out who's done action before, and he had those awesome guard dogs. There's no time for swimming. Slow-mo shot. You missed. Gotcha. So much blood in that water. He hung up on her. That was like, what, 3 seconds? Here we go, the martial arts scene. Yep, lots of kicks. Breakaway glass. This is breakaway glass. You could tell because if this was real glass, Keanu Reeves' face would have been cut up. It's well done. It's real glass. It's not, like CGI glass. But damn, they threw him through all this glass. Not a cut on his. He should have been cut to ribbon. See, no blood. Again, not realistic, guys. It's like Novocaine. This guy literally puts his fist to glass and hits people with it. I'm like, yeah, because he can't feel pain. Nope. Protective wall. Terminator 2, yeah. This movie is shorter than that, but that's only because it's not a James Cameron movie. If James Cameron did John Wick 5, it would be 4 hours long. Yeah, because he doesn't know subtlety when it comes to running time. No one does a longer movie than he does. Yeah, a mainstream cinema that comes out, he makes the longest movies now. Spielberg ain't got nothing on James Cameron because every Avatar movie is 3 hours, even though the original, the extended cut of three of the first Avatar is 3 hours and 10 minutes. Too long, man. The hell is wrong with you? Why do you think a movie needs to be 3 hours to tell a good story? Tell it in less than two, you fool. All that glass, man. These movies are badass. They're very manly. They never treat the lead like he's like less than a woman. No, he's a manly man with a lot of grit. It's been so long since I've seen this movie. I haven't seen it in many years. That was incredible. Hopefully John Wick doesn't end up being like Mission Impossible, where they only had one flop, and it wasn't because of him. It was because he's not in it that much. Ballerina. Because Mission Impossible, the last two films didn't do well. Because again, Barbie and the running time of Final Reckoning was just way too long. And it was like, again, action movies do not need to be 2.5 hours or more. Get to the point in an hour and change or 2 hours, and get in and get out. Yes, Spider-Man Brand New Day is a long movie. I never said it was short, but it's not 2.5 hours. They're lying. That's with the end credits. You have to sit through the whole end credits to get to the stinger. Mm-hmm. That guy's not Japanese. He's Indonesian. He was in. He was in The Raid, and The Raid is from Indonesia, not Japan. Here we go. Again, more glass broken. Every time glass breaks, if you drank, you will be dead by the time the movie's over. Yeah, more subtitles. Because I didn't read enough of them yesterday. In other when I saw the French dub and commentary for Taken, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do another movie subtitled tomorrow. Because Aladdin is an American Disney movie, so there's no subtitles. Yep, I'm gonna whip you with my belt. These fight scenes are just, but I still prefer the scene with the dogs because there were no subtitles in that scene when they're fighting all those Moroccans in the desert area. Yeah, that's still the peak of the movie. This is a good scene, but the subtitles, I'm like, yeah, this is not a Japanese movie, guys. I know Keanu's part Asian, and I checked. I think he's like Chinese descent mixed with Hawaiian and whatever. Born in Lebanon for some reason, even though he's not Arabic. He's not Arabic. Doesn't look Arabic. This choreography is just 10 out of 10, no doubt about it. Too bad they don't give out Oscars for, they give us for cinematography but not choreography. They deserve it because like stunt people they get overlooked. Like in a musical, The makeup people, the costume designers, and the production team get the Oscars, but not the people that do the choreography for the dance scenes in a musical. They should. They should be acknowledged. In the Tonys, they do. They get best choreography. It's a little Asian, but he's got a lot of fight in him. Again, more glass broken. Yep. Well, it was dented. I'm not gonna fight on a glass floor. I fell through the roof to the attic last week. I don't want to fall through glass. It'll scare me. I've been cut with glass before. It hurts, man. It hurts. It makes you bleed instantly. At least wood will scrape you up, but it wasn't. It won't make you bleed as fast as glass. Mm-hmm. Yep. He beats you. Good morning, John. I said this is an action sequel. I'll take this day over the second Gladiator. Yeah, because it's not CGI animals. The dogs are real in this movie. They're not CGI, mostly. Here we go. Final battle with Mark Dacascos. It's like a western where the main protagonist and antagonist just go at it. Yep, he is. Yeah. Yet he went through like 5 glass walls and no blood. That's why you could tell there's breakaway glass, because if it was real glass, John would have had cuts all over his face and his hands. Really well shot fight scene. Also, it was good to see Mark Dacascos in a theatrically released film again, not just direct-to-video or a TV movie or something like that. No, you have no hair. He would have been a much better Lex Luthor than Nicholas Hoult. I don't care if he's Asian. He's still a better actor than Nicholas Hoult, screaming all the time. Geesh, what's wrong with you? You're just upset because you got your ass kicked by a dog. At the end of the movie, when he's like, "That's my biggest strength," and then a dog freaking breaks Lex Luthor's arm, and I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what you get, you dumb Brit. You get what you deserve. You got beaten up by a dog." Again, that didn't happen in Supergirl because again, that movie was not as good as Superman. It never was gonna be. I didn't hate it, but it could have been better, man. Definitely the most disappointing movie I've seen this year because it could have been so much more than it was. And Spider-Man in one weekend made what Supergirl couldn't make in a month. Or 2 months. At least this DVD is working because I bought it brand new a few years ago. An hour and 51 minutes. We're almost done. After this fight scene, John walks away and then the movie's over. It's pretty intense, man. Chop. Imagine a Power Rangers movie directed by this guy. Oh, it would be badass, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be just a bunch of CGI cartoons fighting like that 2017 movie. The choreography would be phenomenal. Again, more broken glass. Damn, that's a lot of broken glass. Uh-oh. bleeding. The second Gladiator movie's a joke. No Russell Crowe, of course, because his character died in the first one. And then you have a like an ambiguously gay freaking Denzel Washington. Why? Because again, because that time that's what they did, I guess. I love that flip he does with his legs. Right in the heart. Yes, it would be good. I was in Pirates of the Caribbean 4. See, I could do that voice too. It's not hard, guys. It's just that's how he talks, like this. Yes, even in the Hellboy remake, he does that. That's a great shot. He got stabbed with a samurai sword, and he's still alive now. He would have been dead already. Yeah, it was badass, but not as good as the fight with the dogs. That's still the best scene. Yeah. The audience definitely, it's like breaking the fourth wall, but the film has some comedic value, but it's not a comedy. They try to avoid yucks because it's not. This is not Deadpool. When Deadpool kills and then he cracks a joke, it makes sense. Here, it's not because it's not a comedy. It's a neo-noir action thriller with a lot of death. There's a reason they don't make movies like this anymore because the fourth one was just too long. No, you won't. He was a great Shadow, and like I said, Shadow doesn't kill anybody. I mean, he loses somebody dear to him, and I get it. She sounds like Susan Egan from Hercules. It's not her because she's absolutely gorgeous. Like her voice is so feminine. It's just like when I was 12 and I heard that voice, I'm like, that is one of the hottest Disney women voices I've ever heard in my life because it sounds so feminine. There's nothing masculine about her. Hell yeah. They said parlay in Pirates of the Caribbean. John's cut a little bit, but he would have been covered in blood. Over 30 years. Because in Ballerina, it's not him. It's Gabriel Byrne is the main villain. He's Irish. He's not British. Plus, this is a third movie that doesn't suck, which is great. I know some people don't like this movie because they said it's too long. I get it. No, of course, no, he doesn't die. That was incredible. So, yep, Spider-Man 2 when he falls off the building and hits the dumpster. Yeah. He shot him. He must have shot him with blanks because again he would have been dead already. That fall would have killed him. But again, he's a. So he has to die. Boom, boom, boom. Like you're gonna kill him off in the last 5 minutes of the movie? No, of course not. 4, I think he dies, but I don't know. I think it's just a retcon because he comes back in Ballerina, and that takes place after 4, and then you have 5 is I think in the works. But that should be the last one. I don't want Keanu Reeves to do this till he's 90. Learn from Death Wish. Don't go past a 5 because that went to 5 and Charles Bronson was so old he couldn't even hold a gun anymore by the 5th movie. 4 should have been the last one. That one was at least decent. 3 is the best Death Wish. There comes the dog. Go, run, dog. Run to your master. At least this is the last one that I own. See? Jason Mantzoukas, and of course Lawrence Fishburne didn't die. He faked his own death. Drinking a bottle of Fanta. I thought he did die. I forgot. I haven't seen this movie in a while. This is the first time I'd seen it in years. Because 4, I remember the step scene. It just went on too long. Two hours in already. It's almost done. It is. They digitally removed his finger. Mm-hmm. That should have killed him. One cut could have killed him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, chop his head off. It's 11 o'clock already, 11:06. No. I'm just tired because I got up early this morning and had to deal with my dog. Yeah. And that's it. 2 hours and 1 minute for John Wick Chapter 3. At least this one ended at 2 hours. There we go. That's the end of the John Wick trilogy. We have 4 and then Ballerina to do in the fall. Because, I got to recover from this one. So that was John Wick Chapter 3. Thanks for watching, guys. A few of you that did. And tomorrow I'll be doing a much shorter movie, the original Aladdin animated movie, not the remake, because that one's too long. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next